What's up, everybody? Today is a different episode. This is the first, well, it's not solo because it's Alex and I, master of the keys.
Yes, sir, right here.
There he is. Change the camera angle a little bit. Today, I'm really big on working out. And anyone who follows me on social media, they would know that is a very obvious thing that I push. It is the root. I think not working out is the root problem for a lot of people in their lives. And I think working out would greatly, immensely improve anyone's life. And that I'm not even referring to the health benefits, because the health benefits are obvious, even though there's this huge push for obesity and being big is beautiful and all that ridiculousness.
Body positivity.
Yes. And Lizzo sharing her vegan diet with Twinkies in it, and just absolutely ridiculous. Everyone knows that working out will benefit them physically, and I think a big thing that we don't talk about is how much it helps mentally. And like, I don't know about you, Alex, but if I don't work out, like, it's like a hangry type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I don't eat, I get hangry, which I'm not so bad. I used to be really bad about that. But if I don't work out, don't go near me. I might kill someone if I go days without working out. Like, I need it. It's almost like my medication.
Yeah.
And I much prefer that medication over the prescribed crap from a doctor, big pharmaceuticals. But so today, what I wanted to do, we have no plan for this. This is a first for us. I wanted Alex to look up reasons or excuses people make for working out. And I want you guys to hear my replies, how I would respond to someone who is making excuses or who is, avoiding the work, so to speak. So, Alex, what do you got for me? All
right, we got excuse number one.
It's going to be time.
I'm too tired.
Well, okay, so there's a couple things with this, right? You're probably tired. And this is, let's say this is coming from the average person with the average American diet. You're probably too tired for, one, you have a really shitty diet. You're not eating right. You're not taking your cart seriously. A lot of people like to rely on supplements, and that's a big part of our problem in this day and age is we want that quick fix. We want that pill, when the answer is to stop investing in supplements, stop trying to find that pill, stop trying to find that quick fix, and understand, like, hey, I've been fat for 3 years. I need to give this at least 3 years of work. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair ask. It's like, if you have been fat and out of shape for 3 years, how can you possibly look yourself in the mirror and say, well, I should get what I want in 1 year? There's no way, there's no other relationship or business transaction where it's like a 3-to-1 ratio. It's a 1-to-1. So if you've been out of shape for 5 years, give it 5 years of work. That's what you owe yourself. You shouldn't be asking for anything less. And the problem is people always ask for less. And that's probably the number one reason that everyone quits. Oh, well, I'm not getting the results I want. Well, you've been working out for 3 months. You haven't worked out for 8 years. And I'm saying all these random numbers, but these are probably very real numbers for a lot of you. And most of you, I just posted the other day, a parent got mad at me because I said parents use their kids as a crutch not to work out. Like, oh, well, I got kids, I'm too busy. It's like, well, I work out every Friday with my boys. Every Friday. It's our playtime. We wrestle, we pick them up. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But I'm too tired. So one, you need to evaluate your diet. Are you fueling your body correctly? Are you getting enough protein? Are you drinking enough water? We don't need to get specifically into nutrition, because that's another thing. I think people understand nutrition better than they will admit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I need a nutritionist. I need to count my
Nutrition's
calories.
not that difficult.
Nutrition's extremely easy.
Yeah. You can make
Extremely
it
easy.
like as difficult as you want,
I think, yeah.
but for the bare minimum, like just get back in shape and feel better, it's not that hard. You know
I
what to
agree.
do. Everyone knows eat better food. Shit that's not in a box,
Right.
not frozen, not fried.
You want to go, it's impossible to go completely not processed. You're going to have some processed foods because, for instance, the meat that we buy from North Pasture Farms, shout out Steve, the farmer, North Pasture Farms, which an order is coming up. So if you're actually looking for ordering some meat, they have, I think they have a bunch of poultry and they have bacon and they have a bunch of options there. But if you're looking for meat straight from the farm, make sure you check North Pasture Farms out and use TNT Athletics as your pickup spot. But to some degree, almost all food is processed. Almost all food. So to say not eat processed, I think it's definitely a buzzword now.
Yeah.
Especially for guys like Paul Saladino and all these like carnivore guys, like take out all the processed food. Well, the meat you're eating is processed to some degree. So to some degree, it's a very general term. But what we're referring
Most
to,
people know processed food is like anything that has been through a process of any kind. So
Right.
if it's cooked, it's been processed.
Right.
But most people understand processed food meaning junk food bullshit that
ultra
barely
processed,
resembles real food anymore.
right? Like potato chips,
Yes.
like ultra processed is like the potato chips, the bags, the stuff that will just never go bad. If it never goes bad, it's probably not good for you. Obviously, in a can, it's protected to a degree and it stays better for a much longer time. Like, beans in a can, it's processed to a degree, but I still promote eating beans in your diet. I think beans are great for you. I give a lot of credit to beans because they help me gain a lot of weight, and I do think that they were a great source of energy for me. Like way back in the day, I would notice a difference when I would have black beans. But anyway, nutrition, it's extremely simple, and especially now you got guys going carnivore. I think carnivore is great because it's a great way to go cold turkey on people that are ultra processed, like they're buying Hungry Man dinners or they're buying pre-cooked foods that are, lathered in seed oils and they're frozen and all you have to do is heat them up. It takes all of that junk out and it makes your diet very simple. And I know a ton of people. I actually just got a text right before we started airing this episode. Someone's down 30 pounds on the carnivore diet. I think that's tough for a lot of people, but if it works for you, it works for you. If vegan works for you and you're not eating a bunch of processed junk and you took out all the bullshit snacks and fruit snacks and chips and all that, go vegan. Shoot. I mean, fruits and vegetables, again, this is another controversial thing. It's become ridiculous. But like Paul Saladino is a great example because he literally says vegetables not only aren't good for you, but they're harming you, and the phytochemicals in them are causing issues in your gut, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think overeating things like spinach and kale, I think that could have some issues. Like we know it causes kidney stones to a degree. Like if you have kidney stones, they will tell you at the doctor's office to lay off the kale. So yeah, diet. It's very simple. Eat less. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. That's an obvious one. I don't know why so many people have trouble with that concept. And you would be extremely surprised how many calories you are eating if you sit down and you use, I know Colton likes micrometer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it micrometer? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I haven't counted my calories in a very long time. But there's a ton of, like MyFitnessPal is a big one.
Yeah. Well, I think
Sit
it's
down.
really important for people who have never counted calories to try it
Yes.
for an extended period of time and really be diligent about it. Because that's what
You learn.
I learned so much. And now I just like dropped, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds. But I didn't count a single calorie because I already know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I very well know how many calories I'm consuming in each meal, even though I didn't weigh anything. I didn't track anything, but I'm like, I know what half a pound of ground beef does to me. I know
Right.
what 4 eggs does to me. It's like I know how to
And you know how big it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I have the knowledge now, so I don't need to obsess about tracking it anymore. But I
Right.
think it's important to do that once so you can really understand it for the rest of your life.
Google real quick. Calories in a spoonful of peanut butter.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. This is the one I always use with people because I don't think when people are like, I'm pretty sure I'm in a deficit.
200 calories per 2 tablespoons of peanut butter.
2 tablespoons, and that's 2 tablespoons. A spoonful, when someone takes a spoonful of peanut butter, it's bigger than 2 tablespoons. It's
Yeah.
a scoop of peanut butter. And they're like, I'm eating healthy. It's like,
Dude,
you
like a
might,
peanut butter sandwich.
it might not be bad for you, but your calories are super high and it adds up so quick. So it's important to increase your awareness in that category, and it's to count those calories for at least a week just to understand what is going in your body. Or like, a fruit smoothie. A lot of people make a fruit smoothie and they'll just pour things into it like Greek yogurt and kefir and mixed berries, and they'll put a scoop of protein powder, and then they'll add this and they'll add that, a little bit of OJ, and before you know it, you're drinking 1,000 calories. So it might be healthy, but if your goal is to lose weight, your calories are really high and you're making it very hard for yourself.
Healthy and low calorie are not synonymous.
Right.
It's not the same thing. You can eat something that's healthy and really calorically dense.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So you need to establish your goal. So if we go backwards a little bit, if you want to gain weight, do you want to lose weight? If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. If you don't understand what that means, just YouTube it. YouTube's a great source to learn really easy things like that. And then count, take a day, don't change your diet, log everything and see where you're at. It's also could be important to calculate your BMR too, which is your basal metabolic rate. And that's, I don't want to get too sciencey, but count the calories, understand where you're at. If you want to lose weight, that number needs to be smaller. And I know a lot of the guys that are going to be listening, they want to gain muscle. If you want to gain muscle, well, you need to be in a caloric surplus. Can you gain muscle without a caloric surplus? Some studies have shown yes, but it's very minimal, and the macros need to be just right. It also depends on if you're advanced, if you're intermediate, if you're a beginner. You're going to get those beginner gains if you're just picking up weights for the first time. Most of those gains are going to be more neurological and rate coding improvements more than anything. It's not going to be necessarily because you gained muscle. You probably will gain some muscle just because you started lifting weights, but you got to remember those are going to be beginner gains. So I'm ranting. What was it? So
You ready for excuse number 2?
yeah. So excuse number 1 was you don't have enough energy.
Yeah.
So to add really quick, check your diet. That's probably why you don't have energy. Number 2, make sure you are going to freaking sleep. You need to get sleep. If you're not getting sleep, because a lot of people will say, oh, I'm so tired, I can't work out. And they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they go to bed at 12 staring at their phone and they wake up at 6 for work. It's like, well, you're only getting 6 hours of sleep. Yeah. You're missing 2 hours every day.
And probably not good quality sleep either.
Probably not good quality sleep. Do you have a good pillow? There's many different facets of sleeping. And I know a big one for guys is they snore. They need their sleep app machines. And if you need one, there's many different outlets to get one now. But check your diet, check your sleep. It's going to greatly improve your energy. Also, just quit being a pussy because everyone's a little tired. Everyone, no one's wide awake after work, after their work. No one wants to go work out. Like sometimes you just need to sack up and say, all right, I need to get this done. Especially if you've made the goal of losing weight. Just shut up. Stop making excuses. Wake up a little earlier. And if I'm going on another rant, but if you wake up a little earlier, you work out, you will be tired and you will go to bed on time.
Yes.
So if you force a workout in the morning, force your workout in the morning. Just do it. Just go on a walk, go on a little run. Keep it simple if you're just getting started. And by the end of the day, you will not be able to stay up when you are usually staying up. You will go to bed on time. So Those are the things that I would check for energy wise. So what's excuse number 2?
I can't afford a gym.
Can't afford a gym. This is ridiculous. If you don't need me, first of all, and this is always like I battle myself in my head, but you do not need TNT Athletics is $120 a month for fit camp unlimited training. So that's like the average Joe's unlimited training, $120 a month. We had a client. I feel like I didn't ask if I can say her name, so I'm not going to say her name, but she found out she was paying between $300 and $400 a month on Starbucks. Between $300 and $400 a month on Starbucks. So if you wanted to actually afford, unless you are a extreme budgeter and you're one of those Excel sheet people and you already know you have no room to afford something like $120 a month, you can find places where you can budget and you can dedicate towards a gym. It's like coffee's the easy one. Starbucks is the easy one. Everybody freaking goes to Starbucks. If you want to be like me, I got that Breville barista. Alex has gotten to experience a latte. I make him his Americano every time we come in.
Sir.
Oh, I didn't make you one today. Dang, dude, I feel off.
Feel left out.
I feel off. But it's a great way to get that high quality coffee and you personalize it for you. You save so. Oh, I've paid for that thing probably 3 times now. So you absolutely, and this can go into a whole other conversation. We need an accountant to come on the show, but just checking your finances and looking at your statements and seeing where all your money is going, you can absolutely so easily find $120 if you want to go to a private gym. Now let's talk about your gym options. If it wasn't a private gym, because you do not need a trainer,
no.
Planet Fitness, $10. As much as I hate them, if you are on a budget and you're just trying to work out, you're just trying to find a place to get the work in, put your head down, put your headphones in, be in for 30 minutes, get your work and leave, Planet Fitness works. As much as I don't want to sit here and support a really shitty business model, Planet Fitness works. And if it's not Planet Fitness, there are 24-hour gyms in every single area ranging between $10 and $50 a month. Find your spot, try them out. They're all going to let you try it out for free. They're all going to take your email and you'll have to unsubscribe for 20 years. But
yeah,
you will absolutely be able to find somewhere where you can work out. And if you absolutely just don't want a gym, or maybe you're really insecure and you don't want to go to a public place, go in your basement. I'm not the type that can do that. I can't work out in my home. I tried that and I can't do it. I don't like it. I need to go somewhere. The mental prep is really big for me. Like driving to like our gym at TNT, the drive gets me ready. Now, obviously I work before I work out now, but there's something about going somewhere else. When I'm home, I'm home. I want to be home. So you absolutely have money to spend. Everyone does. $10. But
if you're listening to this podcast on a phone or computer, I think you have enough money to pay for a gym membership every month.
Yeah, it's a little hypocritical, actually. If you're on your computer or you're on your phone, you're like, I can't afford $10. I can't afford $20. Or you just bought new Air Jordans. Or you just bought a Gucci bag. Or you just bought a new car when you didn't necessarily need a new car.
Or you ate out once last month.
Yep. Yeah, once.
That's your gym membership.
Yeah, if you ate out one time, that would be a gym membership.
So eat out one less time and you can afford a gym membership.
Well, if people would just stop like Chipotle. What is the Chipotle bowl at now?
It's like $10.
Dude, it's over $10.
10. I think the chicken bowl is 10.
I'm pretty so.
If you get like none of the add-ons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but everyone gets the add-ons. So when I go to Chipotle, it's like a last resort type of thing, and every time I'm in that line, those dudes are ordering queso, guac, double protein, and those bowls are coming out to $18, $19.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And that's probably $4 of food in that bowl. So you go to North Pasture Farms, you split up that meat, you get some veggies, you make 10 bowls for that price.
Yeah.
So you absolutely have the money. I don't want to ever hear that. It's just a ridiculous excuse. You don't have a money problem. You have a budgeting problem.
And you can definitely work out for free if you need to.
Absolutely. And people forget that too. People forget that.
Push-ups are free.
Push-ups are
Walking's free. Sit-ups
especially
free. Running's free.
Right. And the only
Lifting heavy shit in your yard is free.
The only people that really need a gym or that setting are the people that are more advanced and they've been doing it for a while. And those people have already budgeted that.
Yeah.
So if you're just starting off, walking, fresh air, it's all free. Walk outside, especially if you're a very obese person, if you're large and in charge, going for a nice long walk every day and eating less junk food. Give that consistency, give that a little time, and you will lose weight for sure. What's the next excuse?
Number 3 is I don't have time or I'm a full-time parent, so I don't have time.
Okay, so again, I work out with Stevie and Luke every Friday. We do some sort of wrestling or we run around the house and I'll pick them up and I'll throw them and my heart rate gets up big time when I do that. You've seen me do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm running with those boys and it's so fun. So not only are you getting the playtime with the kids, but you're burning calories. And then the time, I mean, just pull up, turn this podcast off for a quick second, go to your settings and read your screen time out loud to yourself in the mirror. Some of you would be so embarrassed. I think I'm at like, what's yours these days?
Mine, I want to say it's like 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm 4.
Yeah.
On a bad week. But is it counting if you are watching Spotify and video?
If the video's running, I think so.
Okay.
So that's one I know that kind of gets me is I'll listen to like a podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll have it like sitting on my desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do the same
The
thing.
screen running, so it's like it counts the 2 hours the podcast is playing.
Right.
So it's like maybe a little skewed from that.
Mine does that too.
But even still.
Well, I don't know if it does that, but that's why I'm asking if that counts as screen time. But I definitely watch, like if it's Joe Rogan or if I've been watching ours back just to check the content and, coach myself up and work on it. So that definitely adds to mine. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not guilty of scrolling. I scroll for sure. But I also work out and I make sure that I work out not every single day, but almost every single day. So you have time. When there's a will, there's a way. And this goes back to our no excuses model. There is really no true excuse. I don't know. I take that back. So every year I post, there is no valid excuse not to work out. And it always hurts butts. Someone always gets butt hurt over it. One lady commented one time, and it's the only excuse I've ever accepted. And it said, I just had a baby. And I was like, all right, you win. That is a good excuse not to work out. I've seen what that does. And whether it's a C-section or vaginal birth, it's a huge toll on your body. Your body's going through a true trauma. So that's the one excuse I've ever seen. And I'm sure, people are going to be smart ass and be like, well, I was in a car wreck or whatever. And obviously those are obvious. I understand. But like we got a guy in a wheelchair, Brax. Brax is there 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a wheelchair. Come on.
Yeah.
If you're watching this and you're not in a wheelchair, you should feel stupid. Brax makes you look stupid. There is no valid excuse not to work out. So that was the time one.
Yes. We got number 4. Are you ready for this?
What is it?
I need to be motivated to exercise.
There's a difference. Motivation is it's like not real. Okay. So obviously it's real because when you get that fire and you could feel it like, oh, I'm very motivated, but it's
like an emotion.
It
comes and goes.
It is like an emotion. It comes and goes. And understanding that motivation comes and goes is very important because if you're searching for motivation, you're not going to work out on a consistent basis. If you develop a discipline and you express to yourself the goals that you want and you understand, going back to what we said earlier, I've been fat for 3 years. I need to give it 3 years. If you put that mindset into play, motivation is not required. It'll be nice when you have the motivation on the days when you have it, for sure. But you do not need motivation. You need discipline and you need a plan. Motivation is just, it's like the cherry on top. So I'm not motivated every day. Are you motivated every day?
No.
But you go
Yes.
because you need to, you want to, and you've expressed your goals to me for sure. Which, by the way, have you lost weight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm under 170 now.
Are you doing the carnivore?
No.
Why not? You said you keep saying I want to do carnivore. Why aren't you doing carnivore?
I mean, I don't know. 'Cause I haven't.
Just
I eat primarily meat.
I think you
But-
should try it though, because the eczema stuff, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should probably
Just
run
do
back.
it. I'll give you before you go. I'll give you a bunch of
Alright.
meat so you can get started.
There we go.
Okay, so now it's been said to our listeners.
Yeah, now it's live.
Now you need to go carnivore for just do 4 weeks and see what happens.
All right.
I think I didn't go full carnivore. I never really had any health issues or skin issues, but pretty sure you're gonna shit yourself after week 2 or something like that.
I mean, I did it once, but I had like fruit still. So
So you didn't do it.
yeah, I did like the animal based.
Yeah, the Saladino one.
Yeah.
No, I
But
think you go. I
it
think you go
didn't-
full
I
carnivore.
think the answer would be full carnivore and then like reintroduce fruit or
I've seen nothing
whatever.
but good things about it.
yeah.
I mean, according to the FDA and WEF and all those places, you should be dead. All these carnivores should be dead based on our food pyramid.
Well, it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bought and paid for.
It's all bought and paid for. It's all bullshit. There was they released that food pyramid where it was Cheerios were better. No.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms
were better than
were rated better than steak.
yeah.
Are you
Steak,
kidding me?
eggs, and grass-fed butter.
Lucky Charms is cardboard with sugar. And that's better than steak and eggs straight from the animal, things that we've been eating for centuries.
Yeah, we have science now, so you know.
Oh, God, dude. This huge push against red meat is so annoying. So annoying. And I'm seeing more and more people are even reaching out and saying, I switched to 90% red meat and I feel so good. I was just talking to Chris Waylock today.
Yeah.
Chris is like, and I don't believe this, and he doesn't necessarily believe it either, but we were saying it anyway. He was like, dude, right when I finished my red meat from North Pasture Farms, because Chris put a big order in with our guy, he's like, I got sick. Right when I ran out, and we weren't eating red meat for a couple weeks, I got sick. And he's like, I can't help but think it's sort of because of that. So he ran out of his red meat, and he really did feel like, and maybe, you know, it could just be coincidence. We're not saying if you don't eat red meat, you're going to get sick and your immune system relies on red meat. That's not true. Your immune system relies on a lot of different things. But maybe, because he said he was feeling weak without it too, there could be a correlation, and that's all I'm saying.
Could be.
And I know I keep talking about North Pasture Farms, but there is a clear difference. And I've showed you the difference between something you buy at like a Meijer or an Aldi or a Walmart, and you put it next to this meat that we get at North Pasture Farms. It's a deep red. It's still like, especially right when you thaw it out, it's still super bloody. Like dude, it looks like it just got killed.
Yeah.
And I know this is a tough conversation for some people, but
It's not bloody, by the way. The blood's going. It just
yeah,
it appears bloody, but it's
Right.
not.
right. It appears bloody like when it thaws out. But there's a very clear difference. So again, check out North Pasture Farm. I think the next
Well, I mean,
order.
most of that conventional meat in the store too is, I don't know about most, but a lot is like injected and dyed
Died.
and-
Yeah, I just
Yep.
read that the other day.
because it looks more appetizing
Mm-hmm.
and people buy it off the shelf if it's not losing that vibrant red color. So they inject it with dyes and
Mm-hmm.
make it look pretty. Same thing with, I think, salmon is a big one. They dye all that.
Salmon's it's one of the most like faked meats or something like that. I read, don't quote me, but I was just reading something like not long ago. Salmon is, or they like to say it's wild caught when it's not. It's mostly farmed.
Yeah.
And there's no regulations for that. That's a big problem. It's just another big problem with our food.
Catch your own salmon.
Just catch your own salmon. Just wild caught.
You want salmon, move to Alaska.
Yeah. And that's a Alaskan wild caught. That's like the only salmon we'll buy.
Are you ready for
What's the next
excuse number
one?
5?
Yeah.
I don't like to exercise alone.
That's not a bit like I understand that. I don't like to exercise alone either, but I still do it.
I
And
do,
this
but
you do like to.
yeah, I don't mind it.
If I'm in the mood for it, sometimes I will. Like running, I definitely don't want to run with someone.
Yeah.
So if I run my mile, I'll run my mile alone for sure. I don't want to run with it. Or hills. I like to run hills alone. But I will challenge you. So if you're someone that doesn't like to work out alone, I would definitely say try it. Because especially as a parent now, I've been a parent for a while now, but especially as a parent, a business owner, someone who's pretty busy, it's nice to turn off your brain and get a good workout in by yourself. It's really nice. And every now and then I do like that, especially, oh man, having the gym to yourself. You've got to experience that a little bit, like when it's dead at the gym and
Yeah.
you got that whole gym to yourself and that there's no baseball in there and it's just blasting. It's awesome. Just dancing from set to set and hitting an awesome sweaty workout. It's good. It's good for the soul. So I would challenge you to first try it. If you just can't do it, that's when these group fitness options come into play. That's when calling up a fellow fat friend, be like, hey, Jake, I'm feeling fat. I know you're fat. You're my buddy. Let's work out together. And you guys can do this. I hate this word, journey together. You could take this path together. And that also helps with accountability.
Yeah.
So reach out to a friend, look into those group fitness options. If you're not a social person, I would definitely start with the friend. But if you're a social person, group fitness is great. And there's tons of options, especially in this area. Most of our listeners are in this area. But there's tons of options. And it's such a saturated market now. Anywhere in the nation, you can find group fitness.
Yeah, I think it's going to be anywhere you can find.
Yeah, and
some
it's
kind of
all
group
reasonably
fitness.
priced now, too.
Yeah.
Next one.
We got, like this one. I get bored easily, and exercise is no fun.
Well, then you're just doing the wrong type of exercise. So, especially, now we've had all these different types of exercise come up. So, if you're going to go the group fitness route, you got CrossFit. CrossFit certainly is, I would not call it boring. CrossFit is not even close to boring. You can't even breathe enough to get bored. That's a tough workout. Yeah. And I don't recommend that for anyone. I'm just using it as an example against boredom. But if you get bored working out, then I truly believe you're not doing the right type of workout. You haven't tried enough. And if you haven't tried enough, that means you just haven't put any effort in. There's yoga. Yoga is a workout, hot yoga. Oh man, I miss hot yoga. I wish there was a way. You've never done it?
No.
Oh my God. Imagine the sweatiest you've ever been and multiply that by 2. It's brutal because especially at, I know we used to do it at Melt. We would do it through TNT, but Melt yoga with Shannon and Agnes. I hope I'm remembering that correctly, but she would crush you. She would crush you. So you're doing yoga, which is hard already, and then it's 100 plus degrees in that room. Hot yoga is great. And if you have mobility issues, that would be an awesome one too.
I think a big thing people forget to think about when they're talking about like exercise is boring is you don't have to do a traditional like go to the gym and work out though. So like I remember during COVID I was living in the city and me and my roommate would go play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just play one-on-one and we'd shoot around and
That's true.
that was a great workout.
That's a great
Or we'd
point.
play tennis. Like great workout and it was fun. When I was in the city again, I was rock climbing a lot. This indoor rock climbing gym. Like
That's a workout.
great workout. It was really fun. I do jujitsu now. So it's like if you're not just trying to go and swing weights around, you don't have to. Because we're not talking about becoming a bodybuilder or a professional athlete. It's like if you just want to get in better shape, there's lots of fun activities you can do that are a great workout.
Yeah, if you just want to feel better, lose weight and increase your cardio output, like reduce your average heart rate and just feel better overall, million ways to work out.
Exactly.
If you're trying to sculpt your body, weights are going to be the best option for you for sure.
Like most people aren't interested in that, and that's okay.
That's true. Most people aren't interested in that. I do think the greatest return is going to come with building muscle.
Yes.
And building muscle is easiest
Yeah.
when adding weights into your routine. I do think that. I think that's going to yield your fastest return too. A lot of people ignore that too. I don't want to gain muscle, and girls are always, I don't want to get bulky.
Yeah.
There are men in this world that lift weights and they can't get bulky. Like there are men that try to get bulky and they can't. So women women think that they're just going to get bulky if they start grabbing dumbbells. That's not the case.
No, it's so hard.
At all. It's so hard to do, and it takes that correct diet and the correct protein intake, and it's a formula. Again, it's simple. I don't want to say it's hard because it's simple. It's a simple idea. You need to eat more, work out more, use progressive overload and consistency. Progressive overload, that's a topic in itself.
Yeah.
But it's a very simple idea. It's hard to do. I won't say it's easy to do. It's not easy to do. It's simple. It's hard, but it's simple. And that's something that I've always stood behind, and I will absolutely die on this hill. It's simple, but it's hard. And knowing that it's hard is important, because when you go into it, you have to understand it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. So, next excuse.
We got, I'm too old, fat, uncoordinated, or embarrassed to exercise.
Oh, it's a few. So, too old, no way. We have, oh man, I'm going to butcher how old she is. She's like 80. Sue. Sue is like 80 years old, and her goal when she signed up was to be able to carry her husband's walker and lift his chair. And his chair was, I don't remember how much it is, but she, after lifting with us and working out with us for X amount of time, she walked in one day. She's like, I lift that thing no problem now. It was awesome. It was so cool.
That's cool.
She's like 80. I think she's high 70s. I don't know. She's old. She's probably rolling her eyes at me right now. So age is just, I mean, if you feel old, I think the first thing you should start doing is lifting weights. Well, let's take that back. I don't think you should start lifting weights right away. I think you should start resistance training with body weight training first, and then work your way into weights. And I think it'll greatly reduce your age from a physical standpoint. You start to feel younger very quickly. And we know that lifting weights decreases chances of things like osteoporosis and bone weakening and aging diseases like that. So age is not a good excuse at all. And as you get older, I think you need to work out more, because
it just gets more and more important.
it gets more and more
I think
important.
one of the biggest reasons for it's like broken hips in older people is falling down the stairs.
Why are they falling down the stairs?
Biggest reason for falling down the stairs is
You got no muscle. You got
they don't
no
have the
strength.
leg strength and the quad strength to decelerate their body weight anymore.
Mhm.
So they land on the stair and they can't control that decelerating force. So
Right.
they fall.
And people will say like, "Oh, I don't think weight training will benefit me that much or whatever." And I think you guys fail to realize how much it translates to your everyday life. Like carrying groceries is my favorite one. Like every time you carry groceries, you're doing a farmer carry, you're doing a bicep curl, you're doing some sort of resistance. It's the same thing as lifting weights. And I'll share another story. Claire was an old-time member. I think she's in Wisconsin now, but she was an old-time member. And I remember she told me a story where she slipped on the ice and she caught herself in one leg. And the first thought that came to her head was, dang, it's a good thing I've been doing pistol squats. She caught herself on one leg and she's like, oh, it's a good thing I've been doing pistol squats. And she texted this to me and I was like, see? And she was someone who was a very natural, organic member because her kids were already training. And I was like, what time do you put in for yourself? And that's when she started weight training. Hopefully, Claire, I hope you're still weight training because I don't see you anymore. Miss you. Anyways.
What about too fat to exercise?
That is literally the reason to start
Yeah,
exercising.
it's kind of an oxymoron.
That's absolutely an oxymoron. If you're fat, you need to start exercising. And you
But
could,
it's scalable. If you are really overweight,
yeah,
it doesn't look the same
it's
to
scalable.
start exercising as someone who's kind of already in shape and wants to start exercising.
Well, a walk is an exercise
Exactly.
in that person. Like, that's another problem that I think people see is like, oh, I'm too out of shape to start running. Well, you don't need to start running. You just start walking. And I think if you're really that bad, like you're so fat, like this is like obese and large, where you're having trouble tying your shoes or taking your shoes off, or you sound like this, or you're trying to like get your shoes. I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's always like the big dad. But if that's the case, start with diet.
Yep.
It's okay to just start with diet. Like if you're that bad, you're just that large, like it hurts to walk, or it hurts to, you can start with diet. Absolutely.
I mean, you can scale walking too. I follow this one account. This dude, he was 4 something,
Mhm.
4 high fours, like 460, 480, and he's down to like 350 now. So like big loss, still quite large. But he posted something once about like it's raining outside and I'm just gonna walk around my house. He's like, I just walked from one side of the house to the other, and hey, that was 100 steps.
Another time you can turn your brain off, put in a podcast, listen to something like this, or put in, music, and just change your mood, improve your mood.
Yeah.
Put on your favorite music and just walk back and forth down your hallway. Or I know,
You just do a lap around your house and sit down, and then in 10 minutes do another lap around your house.
what Kelsey used to do when she was pregnant was just walk up and down the stairs.
Yep.
It's boring, but you can entertain, especially today's world with technology and podcasts and music and Spotify and all this stuff, entertain your brain in other ways and just do the work.
Yeah, it makes the barrier to entry so much lower.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's just one little thing that'll take the discomfort level down a notch.
Mm-hmm.
Turning on music, having access to every song ever, having access to all these podcasts, or you can
So
watch a
many podcasts.
YouTube video while you walk around, or
You can learn something.
yeah,
Put a book on tape.
a lot of things.
So many things. What's the next
What
one?
we got?
Or what, wasn't there like a last part to that one?
I think it's, what was it? Embarrassed. Yeah, I'm too uncoordinated or embarrassed to exercise.
Again, that goes to type of workout. Like, well, how are we working out? Like, we're not asking you to play baseball or basketball. Uncoordination. I mean, you can go on the machines at Planet and they have a description. You'd have to be a super idiot to not understand the pictures on those machines and just do 3 sets of 10. You'd have to be so dumb and so uncoordinated, probably mentally handicapped. And if you're mentally handicapped, you got someone helping you. So you can easily go to Planet, read those descriptions on the machines, and you'd be fine. You don't need to have coordination. There's many things you can do that don't require coordination.
I think a big one too is people who want to start going to the gym but are too embarrassed to think that the gym is a super judgmental place. And from my experience, I don't think that could be further from the truth. I don't know how many people at the gym have helped me with form or things that I'm doing or suggested an exercise to me. I don't know how many times I have helped someone move the pin on a stack so that they could change the weight, because they're like, how does this thing work? And I'm like, oh, you just do that. And they're like, thanks, man.
Are there judgmental people?
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely there are.
I
But
feel like they're the minority from my experience.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I just didn't want to ignore the fact that there are douchebags out there that will film you. Like, look at this fatso. I'm sure there are people that will do that, and unfortunately, they will post it on social media too. There are those people, but they are the vast minority. They're
You
not.
also don't know who at the gym used to be in your exact position.
Mhm.
Someone could look super jacked and in shape, but they used to be 200 plus pounds overweight.
Well, think about how small of a person you have to be to make fun of someone who might be large and obese, but they're doing the exact thing they're supposed to be doing to lose weight,
drives
look
me
better,
crazy.
feel better. Think about what an idiot you have to be to make fun of that person.
Yeah. It's so stupid. It makes
It's like
no
making
sense.
fun of a brand new 15-year-old It's like
Makes
making
no
fun
sense.
of a brand new 15-year-old driver that can't drive. Well, of course you can't drive. You just
Yeah.
started driving.
Well, I mean, I make fun of my sister, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. We were just making fun of her sister. But that's just sibling love.
Yeah.
So you don't have a great excuse when you say you're uncoordinated, or I understand the embarrassment could be overwhelming for a lot of
Yeah.
personalities. Like if you're just a really big
It's
introvert. But I will say this is a situation where the grass is much greener on the other side, and you can challenge yourself. Set this as a goal to do something that makes you uncomfortable, and I promise you, the reward is much greater than the risk. Like, what is the risk? The risk is being embarrassed, and your anxiety is going to be much more powerful than anyone else's in that place. And most gym bros are just staring at themselves in the mirror. That's what most gym bros are doing, especially like Edge Fitness, Forge Fitness. They're just staring at themselves. They don't care what the out of shape person is doing. Nobody cares. You need to go. If you determine a gym is where you need to go, and you get past that anxiety, you get past that fear, again, the reward is much, 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 much higher than the risk. And you're going to feel great knowing that you pushed through that to get that done.
Yeah. 100%.
Were you someone that was embarrassed? You had a chubby face, didn't you?
No. I say I did, but I'll show you.
Maybe that's what I
just,
remember.
Yeah, I'm just really, really hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which is good and
yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Now I call myself skinny, even though I like just hit my goal. And now I'm like, I'm skinny as fuck.
You were super skinny. You showed me that where you were like 100 and...
Yeah, I was 140.
140.
140.
Actually,
what are you right now?
139.
The other day I was 160, like 169.
I'm 244 right now. Well, it's 244 this morning, so I'm probably like 245, 246 right now. But from 265 during my playing time, 255 months ago, now I'm 240. I don't know what my goal is anymore. I keep going back and forth. I'm slowly losing weight. I'm definitely losing weight. I think 230. 230 would be good to hit. So yeah, quit being embarrassed. No one's thinking about you. No one's watching you. You're creating this problem in your head more than anything. So,
and if they are, fuck them, because they don't matter.
Right.
It's about you. It's not about them.
If they are talking shit about you going to the gym, then they are not worth
that
any of your
shows
time.
A lot about them and not much about you.
Right.
So we got excuse number 8. I've tried working out before, but I can't stick to a program.
Again,
I don't really even know what that means.
Discipline. You don't need a program. Like, what program?
I don't know.
All you need is, again, this goes to goals. So what are my goals? If my goal is to do a powerlifting meet, okay, I need a program.
Yeah.
But if you are not trying to do something specific, like a game, a meet, a competition, you don't need a program. You just need a schedule. I think there's a big difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
A schedule where, all right, at 6 a.m., I work out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out at 5 p.m. because that's just how my schedule is. The two things that you need ultimately are consistency and progressive overload. Progressive overload is just changing a little something a little bit more. It's increasing the temperature. So if one week you are benching 135 for 10, next week you bench 140 for 10, or you do 140 for 8, or you do some sort of change in the positive direction. That's all progressive overload is. If you do that,
add one set,
or you can add
3
one set.
sets
That's
to 4
right.
sets.
Yeah, you go 3 sets to 4 sets, and that would probably be the way to go if you're a newbie. You start with 1 or 2 sets. Next week, do 2 or 3. Next week, do 4 or 5. You don't really need to go above 5 sets. If you're going above 5 sets, you're just getting shitty quality on your reps. Well, that's a whole other conversation too. But consistency and progressive overload are truly the only two things that you need to see results. And if you still don't see results, you just haven't put in enough time. You haven't dedicated enough time to those two things. What's the next excuse?
This one's kind of interesting. I don't like to work out around the opposite sex.
There's ways around that too.
Yeah.
Go work out by yourself. There are all women's. I'm assuming that's a
yeah.
woman.
I don't think men have that issue.
I don't think men have. I think men prefer to be
Honestly,
around.
now they might a little bit. With all the fucking
all
videos of like,
mm-hmm.
oh, he's staring at me. It's like, no,
yeah,
he wasn't.
and for the people who don't know what we're talking about, there's a trend going on where women will post, they'll videotape themselves working out, and then what they'll do is they'll zoom in on men checking them out, looking in their direction. And it's sort of backfiring now because most of these women are dressed in a way where they're half naked, and to go in a public place and expect nobody to look at you, it's a little unrealistic, especially for a teenage male with testosterone.
Hormones raging.
Yeah, testosterone flowing through the roof, hormones raging, and you have a white see-through bra on. Who's that? Is that you? Alex, dude. Silence your phone, man.
Sorry.
So, and I'm not saying, that's all the girl's fault, but to point it out and make it so extravagant and
They just make it such a big deal, and half the time you see those videos and it's like, I don't even think he looked at you.
yeah.
Like, he glanced over that direction. There could have been a myriad of reasons he looked that way.
And if you're in the public, there's nothing illegal or wrong with someone glancing in your direction.
No.
Especially if you're dressed the way a lot of these women I've seen on these videos are dressed, where it's skin tight clothing and your butt is covered by this thin layer of polyester where you're basically naked, but you're not.
Yeah. It's a little strange.
It's
I say we debunk
hypocritical.
this and we go and work out at a 24-hour gym in Speedos and we see how many people stare at us. Because I bet it's going to be a lot.
We should do that. Except I can't stay in 24-hour gyms, and I really don't want to. We can just do it at TNT. I'll just show up. I'll require Colton and I have new uniforms, and we will film. You're not allowed to look at us, but we're going to train you that way.
Yeah, but if you stare,
you're in trouble.
I'm going to blast you on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. I'll even put a bra on. Bra and Speedo, so the sensitive areas are covered.
Yes.
What's the next excuse?
All right, this is number 10. It's the last one. I don't like to sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to sweat, or I don't want to take another shower and possibly reapply makeup.
Okay, so that would be, I would say it's a timing issue with the makeup thing.
Yeah, maybe work out before you put on makeup.
Work out before you put on makeup. Not liking sweating, I think, is just a really unrealistic expectation of life.
It just kind of sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, it sounds like you are using that as a fake excuse when the real excuse is more so something like, I don't need to work out, or I don't want to work out, or I'm too scared, or
I don't want to
have
be
anxiety. Yeah, I don't want to be uncomfortable. It would be the real excuse.
I think that's the real excuse for a lot of these too, is I don't want to be uncomfortable, and we live in a world today where you can avoid discomfort so easily. You never have to be hungry, you never have to be bored, you never really have to be lonely. You can just plug into your phone, solve all those problems. If you need food, you can order it on Uber Eats. Like, there's no discomfort if you don't seek it out.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
That goes back to the one-click society. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but we talk about the one-click society a lot with all the different guests on the show. I do think you have been conditioned to want and seek comfort. And if you do find yourself wanting and seeking comfort, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you are also seeking discomfort and you're reaching for growth and new things and trying new things, being uncomfortable, because that's where you get better. You don't get better finding comfort all the time. Nobody ever gets, it's like the sport example. So if I want to be a really good baseball player, but I only hit against 10-year-old pitchers that throw 30 miles an hour, I'm never going to ever get better. You need to find the best pitchers to hit against. You need to find people that are better than the people that are currently around you. And that's the only way you are going to get better. So finding that discomfort is where you're going to see the results. And that was the last
Yeah,
excuse,
that was our
right?
list.
Bottom line, you need to be working out every day. I don't need to sit here, and I've made several videos about this. You don't need to hear me rant and tell you the science and the physical and health improvements that you're going to get if you work out. You all know what those are. You know how to eat well. You know if your son or daughter, these are the people that I like to talk to the most because, like I said, I think parents are using the crutch. If your son or daughter came to you and they wanted a base program for working out, eating good, I mean, you kind of give your kids a diet plan anyway because you're making them dinner. So unless you are buying them McDonald's, which some of you are, I think that's a big no-no right off the bat. But if someone said, make your kid a delicious, nutritious meal, you would know exactly what to do and you would do it for them. So why aren't you doing that for yourself? Are you going to sit there, talk about your goals with summer coming up? Okay, bikini season, shirt off season is coming up. Beach season is coming up. Are you going to tell yourself you need to do all of these things? I want to lose this. I want to look better in this. I want to start working out. And then shit's going to sneak up on you and you'll say, oh, I'll do it next year. Are you going to do that? Or are you just going to shut the hell up and do the things you know you're supposed to do to look and feel better? Because your excuses are stupid, and any excuse, however valid, softens your weak ass character. However valid, which I don't really think any are valid, except, of course, unless you just had a baby. But that's it. That's what we wanted to rant about today. We appreciate you guys tuning in. You go work out, make a friend or family work out. We'll see you soon.